We are.
Baby never misses when she throws a spoon at me. We always hide as I'm leaving.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Kasturi from Unilever Food Solutions, which is one of the leading food service providers globally. Our presenter today is the Culinary Chef Experience Advisor of Unilever Food Solutions, Gauteng, Chef Tebogo Ramatsui. Today, he will be demonstrating how you can reduce your waste and skip the hours of prepping potatoes. Let's take your mash to the next level with our scalable solutions. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box. Chef will answer them after the presentation. Chef will also be running a short poll, and we would really appreciate your participation. Now, without any further ado, we turn our time over to Chef Tebogo.
It's always weird.
Okay, everyone. I'm Chef Tebogo, as being introduced. Thank you so much, Pastor. And today I'll be showcasing this wonderful, beautiful product called Knorr Flakes. This particular product is one of my favorites, and the box is equivalent to about 6 potatoes. So you get roughly about 150 portions of 100 grams of mash. Without the fuss, without peeling potatoes, without having glassy potatoes, we have a consistent product all the time, all year round. So basically, this product, as it's Are we back?
Apologies, we just had some technical.
It seems to. We're on. Okay. So for good texture and flavor, I'm just going to add just a block of butter and melt it in the water. And because it's not seasoned, I'm just going to add a little bit of Robertson's veggie seasoning. Also, it gives a nice visual with all those dehydrated peppers and chilies. And of course, it's got a bit of garlic as well.
Chef, can you tell us how much
Once
water
my
was in
water is
there?
boiling, I'm just going to... Yes, I put 200 mils of water, so it's about a 2-to-1 ratio with milk. So it's 200 mils of water, and I've got 100 mils of milk that I'm going to add. Okay. So then you simply add your mash flakes, whisk it in nicely, make sure it's well mixed. And once that is done, you simply close your lid, and that's what it looks like. So you simply close it, and I'm going to set it aside. Okay. So with this mash here, later on you'll see, I'm just gonna let it cool. I'll show you what it looks like in between. I'm going to make some flapjacks, some potato flapjacks that you can make with the batter. I'm gonna be making a batter with the mash. So that batter, you can use it to make waffles as well, or even an omelet, and just fill it with cheese or whatever you'd like to fill it with. Okay. Okay. Switch to my stove. Okay, so up next, I'm gonna make one of people's favorite that I know, a simple, quick potato and leek soup. Okay, since it's winter month, this will come in handy, quick and easy. So I'm simply gonna melt my butter in my pot here. And what I like to do, as you can see, I've already whisked what you call liquidized my leeks and the onions together, because that saves you time when you're making it this way. Okay. Right. So my butter is melting nicely. And with this recipe, we're using the Knorr chicken stock, which will give you a lovely flavor. And we'll just finish it off with
Sorry, Chef, can you give us measurements there?
so make sure not to burn. Okay. So when my leeks and onions are nice and soft, nice time to go in with the Knorr chicken stock that's nice and piping hot. So I'm gonna bring that to boil. Okay, it's boiling nicely. Then I'm gonna go in with my Knorr mash flakes. Make sure you mix with that nicely in there.
Chef, will you be sharing the measurements of these recipes?
Yes, ma'am. But as mentioned, the recipe is available on ufs.com. So as you can see, my potato and leek soup is coming along nicely. So you can use the mash flakes as well as a crumbing when you're making like cheese and potato balls, or use it to thicken soups and stews as well. Want to give that a quick taste. Delicious. So now I'm going to go in with some cream just to finish it off. And there we have it. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. Yeah. So now we dish up our soup. As you can see, it's got a lovely, lovely texture, beautiful flavor, smells amazing. Yeah. And that's our soup done. Okay. Okay, so I like to finish off with some nice toasted onions and some crunchy seeds, just to give it a nice texture. And I've got some coriander leaf as well, just to finish it off. And that's our soup done. We'll have it. Quick and easy. A nice starter you can use as very quick and easy to make. Okay. So gnocchi, which is basically a very popular Italian dish, basically a potato dumpling using the Knorr Mash Flakes. So over here I've got some flour that I've added some nutmeg to as well, and I've got an egg yolk to go with. And I've got a bit of just in case I need. So we start off by melting our butter. And then you can go to the handouts. This recipe is there. It's actually a video of Chef Pinky and with all the measurements there if you need the recipe. Over here, yeah, once you got your butter melting nicely, we need to be fully melted before we add the rest of the ingredients. And with this one, the trick is also to add your yolk while your butter is still warm, and you mix it into a nice soft dough. And we're gonna be piping this instead of the usual method of rolling it with your hands. Okay, now our butter is melted. We're gonna go in with our flour that's got a bit of nutmeg. Just give that a light mix. Then while that is still warm, we're gonna go in with our yolk.
Chef, is it better to use a spatula than a whisk?
Excuse me?
Is it better to
Yeah, I
use a
prefer
spatula?
using the spatula. Yes,
Okay.
I'm mixing with the spatula.
So it's better than a whisk,
Right.
you say?
Yes, because that way you can easily break up any lumps or anything that you can think will not make your math smooth. Then I'm gonna go in with my milk, and then we're gonna form a nice soft dough. So you can use your hands if you like, which works well as well. So I have a lightly floured tray that I'm going to use. Just get a little bit of milk there. And our dough is almost done, as you can see in the picture. Sorry, on camera. Okay. So I'll just quickly show you. Maybe it's best just to show you how you can just simply lightly flour your hands and knead the dough lightly. As you can see, it's nice and soft. So you don't need to over knead your dough just so that you don't have cloggy or tough gnocchi. So it needs to be nice and fluffy and airy when you form it. So you just simply roll this into a thin cylinder. And we can start cutting. So you can cut whatever size that you desire. So I'm just making small, which I'm going to roll into a ball. So you simply roll nice balls. And I'll be using a fork. So don't worry if they're not all the same size. So and then we're quickly going to boil this. Once we're done.
Chef, so this doesn't need
So a lot of
any
people
resting
form
in the
these in
fridge.
different ways. But today I'm just... no, it's not necessary. Yeah, as long as you have your water boiling while you're rolling your balls. And I'll just simply show you a simple method of using a fork to make your gnocchis. So make sure you lightly flour these a little bit. So all you need to do, you take your fork and lightly flour it. So you just press it down on the fork to make nice grooves. And you just flip it. So you can have your nice incisions there with the fork. So basically this also helps you with your sauce because it helps pick up the sauce when you have these grooves, unlike when it's smooth. And that helps also elevate the flavor of the gnocchi. So as you can see, it's nice and easy with a fork. And from here, they're gonna go straight into our boiling water. Okay. Do we have any questions, guys, on the chat?
Nothing yet, Chef.
Okay, no problem. So this is quite nice and easy, and you can do whatever sauce, serve this with whatever sauce you like, whether it be the creamy cheesy sauce, this one, or a tomato-based sauce. Some also like serving it with some fish, or you can even add some meat to it, some prosciutto or whatever you like to serve it with. Okay. Let's see, our water here is boiling. Oh, my stove was off. Okay, there we go. So once we got our water boiling, you just need to add a little bit of salt to your water. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to my water there. So my water is coming to a very nice soft boil. Going in. Are we still on, Chef? Oh, good. Okay. So I'm just gonna gently put a little potato dumplings in my boiling water. So the trick here is that there's no trick. As soon as the gnocchis are done, they will all float to the top. Oh, yeah, okay. So as you can see, my potato dumplings are floating nicely on the top. So I'm just simply gonna move these to us. And some veggie seasoning and a bit of chili to go with my dumplings. So as you can see, once you heat up your sauce, depending what sauce you're using, as I mentioned earlier, you might want to save some of the pasta water. So you don't have to drain off any water. So straight from your pot, straight into the sauce. I think I got all of them. There we go. So you just toss these in your sauce. And you serve. The tomato smells amazing with the chilies. So this is another perfect dish that you can serve for a starter. Remember, it's very filling, so you don't need to serve it with a lot of things. Just keep it simple.
Chef,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to be very gentle with the dumplings when you're mixing.
And not necessarily, because as they firmed up in the boiling water.
Okay.
Okay. So from here, I'll just add some cheese on top. You can add whatever cheese you prefer, and you're good to go. Okay, our mash has cooled up now. So next we're gonna be doing our potato flapjacks or pancakes. Okay, so here we've got some egg. So I got an egg and some flour that I'll be mixing with our cool down mash. So that's what the mash looks like when it's nice and cooled down. As you can see, beautiful and smooth. So I'm just gonna take my whisk. So all you do here, just gonna add a flour and my egg. So sometimes I do also add a little bit of milk. You can do it if you want, but it's not necessary. So as I mentioned earlier, with this mix, you can do waffles. You can do, I've done an omelette, a nice filled omelette. So you just mix it together. So until it's nice and smooth, then you got that nice thick consistency. So remember, that's why I added my seasoning in the beginning when I was making the mash. So you don't need to add seasoning. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of oil. Get that heated up a little bit. So I got my nice batter, as you can see. So once my oil is hot, so you can have this savory as well. I've served it with some nice no hollandaise sauce, and you can add like crispy bacon. You can serve it however way you want. So today I'll be adding some maple syrup just to add a little bit of sweetness to it, and I've got some berries to go with it as well. I'm just gonna spoon my batter in there. So go in with nice gentle heat. And you'll see when it starts to bubble on the sides, that's when you might want to flip them over. Okay, still no questions, Cass? Can I ask the audience a question? Maybe someone can walk away with a box of Knorr Mash Flakes.
Lovely, chef. Go for it.
Yes. How many portions can you serve out of a box or 2 kilo box of the Knorr Mash Flakes? That would be my question. So I think they can put the answers in the chat box. Okay, so I'm gonna let this go a little bit. Any response, Cass?
Nothing yet, chef.
I'm getting a nice golden color there. So they're gonna puff up nicely. And then I'm gonna dish up them up with some syrup and berries. And I also have a poll cast that I want to hear from the audience.
Yes, chef. Do you want
Yeah, I think
to?
I put in 2 polls there, and everybody must remember the handout that I put in the handout there.
Chef, do you also want to tell them about your Instagram?
Yes. Everybody, please follow me at Chef Tebogo. Chef underscore Tebogo on Instagram, and then we can share some recipes and see what I'm posting there. And also feel free to reach out to me should you need any advice or you need to ask me any questions. And we can also collaborate on Instagram. There. Okay, the first one is which product is we're gonna start for? Okay. Okay, does it appear there, Cass? Okay, the first poll is which product would you like me to demonstrate in the next session? Okay, we're good to go with our projects. I'm gonna flip them up. And nice and fluffy. show the dishes. Okay.
Chef, you back?
Here we go. These are all the 3 dishes that we did today. That's it. Okay, yeah, sorry, very, very sorry for the technical issues that we've been having. I hope the next session will be smooth sailing. But I hope you can see all the dishes we prepared today.
Sorry, everyone, for the technical. Thank you for joining us today, and it was a pleasure having you with us. We appreciate you being here. Please look out for our next emailer for the next webinar. And thank you once again for joining us.